like this was a success. Got everything we need. Ah, this placement. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
I'm sorry, what? He's pulling my leg, right? Adrian?
No, I don't believe he is.
So that means we have a suspect.
I believe that's exactly what that means. Look, Captain. Percival and I, we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But Vay Victus is the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? See if you can get him
I guess.
anything he might know. Good. We'll all meet back at Mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered. Best of luck, Captain. And thank you.
What do you mean not solo? What, fighting that Terramorph? No. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, if my Starborn powers weren't maxed the fuck out, it might be a bit more complicated. And honestly, I never use them. Absolutely had to. If not, that thing would have fucking put me in the dirt probably one hit. Honestly, that would be my suggestion. Where I kind of hopped in mid-level. I started out at level 90, 10 Unity trips. I was gonna try to avoid giving myself resources, but it was, dude, it was so. I don't want to say it was imbalanced. It was just insanely tough because, I just picked the skills and I focused a lot on the crafting stuff so I could get the shit crafted. And that was a mistake. But I would really suggest just starting a new one. It'd go a lot easier, I do believe. Plus, you have more time to gather up gear, so you'll need less resources.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Be advised, you have been identified as a known criminal. Respond immediately or we will be forced to open fire. You're on the wanted list. Halt and prepare to be boarded or we will be forced to open fire. Copy that. Stay on.
I forgot about that. Bullshit.
The well's been having brownouts all the time.
Don't care.
Fast finally sent someone down there, but nothing's changed.
Don't care. Really? Oh no, okay. I remember where it's at. It's out there behind the ship. Dude. I didn't know about that for the longest time. That fucking crate being behind the ship. And when I finally found it, dude, I had piles and piles of shit in there. Damn it. I need to let me in there and murder that bastard.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau City, New Atlantis. My doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like... Not a bad thought. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. eliminating the terramorphs, securing knowledge of the lab. I'm simply requesting one. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlaze's role in the attacks to the cabinet. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlaze and Orlaze alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same and leave my name out of the discussions to come. That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here. There are more on the horizon. If you do the right thing.
Ah. You know what? I just might let this bastard stay. I've never done it before. Normally I just let him get the axe.
Hey. Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Orlaze? Reginald Orlaze? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlaze now? Were you able to bring him in? I'm sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions are always tough. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plan?
Aha, that makes sense. Plenty of abandoned tech for an old warmonger to pilfer there. Instead, he stumbles on the plant and finds the perfect way of getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
Decides to use the plant against the people that destroyed his old life. I can see that. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless this might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorph.
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference. Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks. And here we go.
You know, they could have at least updated that shit.
Yes?
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlais commit these attacks, Captain?
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinium.
Reginald Orlais? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report from the Vanguard head in the area said you were trying to track him down, Captain. I guess you found him.
Was this your work, Captain? Did you have any suspicions at the time Orlais might have been involved in the attacks? Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlais triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the captain and Major Sinan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable that Orlais be brought in to face justice. You are to be commended for stopping him before he could strike again, Captain. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinium. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President. Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I failed to see the value here.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Well, you know. Whee!
Well, at least our perpetrator won't be hurt.
Did some different things on this one. Let's go talk to Koala. I just want to cough up a mission. Go kill some terramorphs. Or collect some fucking samples. Which I guess I need to do because that's important.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions.
Yes,
pilot skills
I believe you are
in
correct.
space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Of course. You've earned some R&R. Once you're rested up and ready to head out there again, you come see me.
Yeah, you're definitely correct. Yep. Believe it, 110%. It's going pretty good. Testing mostly scaling and stuff. He's working on a handful of fixes of stuff I reported to him from yesterday's test. Whenever he gets that pushed, I will take another crack at it. On the, like I said, the crafting side, the scaling, everything looks to be going good. It's even working on like Bedlam when Bedlam adds the extra mobs. It's doing work on those, so that's a good thing. Every Xeno asshole I've come across so far has been proper scaled. And if it wasn't for sunless space, I would have died a lot. So, it's looking pretty good. Like I said, there's just some. Seems like most of it's on the new the new upgraded version of DSM. So.
What's this? Just you then? No UC executioner. So the cabinet knows the truth about Orlays. Splendid. That means you and I can get to work. Once we'd cracked synthesizing the Lazarus plant's pollen, research that took years in and of itself, the attacks were exceedingly simple. Orlays' ship would land on our target, bearing a few heat leeches. Nothing that would raise suspicion. Then Lazarus pollen was pumped out of the ship during liftoff from the planet's surface. Shortly thereafter, an attack. A strike perpetrated in mere moments, with no one being the wiser. We were in the middle of an all-out war, Captain. Committing ships to save the city would have left another undefended. Which city would you prefer I'd sacrificed? Sidonia, Gagarin, New Atlantis? And if anyone else had learned about the Lazarus plant, well, I weighed the options. I'll tell you why. Because the UC was, and is, full of people unwilling to pay the price required for victory. In the last days of the war, the UC was on the precipice of executing a final great assault on the Freestar Collective home system of Cheyenne. A massive strike, capable of obliterating Freestar Central Command and ending the conflict at long last. But just before we could launch the strike, word came from Londinium. The Terramorph outbreak had begun. I went to the city to assess the state of things, and discovered the Lazarus plant. We couldn't spare ships for a proper quarantine, so it was my decision to destroy the spaceport and seal off the city. Deal with it quickly, so we could get back to winning the war. Very well. So upon my return from Londinium, we proceeded with our killing blow. Initially, we had great success against the mess the Freestar Collective called a navy. But then the Freestar citizenry decided to get involved. Dozens of civilian ships jumping in to shield their military counterparts. I, of course, had no trouble firing on what should have been designated enemy vessels, but my peers had lost the stomach for it. So many lives lost already, they wailed. So the great UC Navy was routed by a mob. They picked our ships apart. The UC surrendered not long after. And thus rang the death knell for the great UC. You're welcome to whatever opinions you'd like. But had I been listened to, you have my word, we both wouldn't be sitting here. What lost the UC the war was cowardice. How may I be of it? Well, thanks to our combined efforts, the Sanan name has more clout with the cabinet than it has in years. I hope to build on that. I have a long list of names civilized society would be better without. I just need someone to help me remove them from the picture. Should we begin the hunt? Or did you have questions? Just making this settled systems. Arms dealers, rogue scientists, UC turncoats, war criminals from the colony war. Each poses a threat. I'd be directing you to them, and you'd be making the galaxy better for us all. Just what I was hoping to hear. There's a slate waiting for you in the transfer system. Those are the details for our first, person of interest. Find them, eliminate them, and make the galaxy a better place for it. Though I would expect some resistance when trying to approach the target. Deal with any you encounter as you see fit.
All right, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you have fun doing whatever it is you find to get into. Hi, Dan. Well, you know, sometimes it's just what's needed. Later, man. He make a mess. He make big mess. Hey. Bitch, you ran back outside? Don't go back in that fucking building, dickhead. Yeah. Mine had stopped, but that very last update he pushed fixed it. I tested it for him last night, before my stream started. Yeah, make sure to, I mean, you know what you need to do. Hold delete and reinstall shit. I'm blaming a lot of this shit on Bethesda anymore. Delete it and then reinstall it. Never update. Yeah, I figured as much.